In this video, I'm going to be showing you step by step the best way to organize and edit music videos in Final Cut Pro with an in-depth look at the power of the multicam editor. Every music video ever made has performance scenes, and it can be mundane and grueling to sync footage and spend your precious time finding the right takes. So, I'm going to walk you through exactly how to import your footage, sync all of that footage to your song in seconds, and quickly cut all of your scenes to have a finished performance video in minutes. All while showing you helpful key commands and tips to take your workflow to the next level. I'm Ashton Turner with The Warehouse, here in the studio to help you become a better artist and creative by elevating your workflows and productions. Now let's learn some shit. I'm gonna go ahead and start a new library in Final Cut Pro, going to File, New, then Library. I'm gonna go ahead and name it The Power of the Multicam. Then I'm gonna go ahead and save it into my music video folder. I'll click save, and then we're good to go. Now, I'll go ahead and press Command and I to open up the import menu to bring my footage in. This footage is from a music video that I shot relatively recently. I'm gonna go ahead and click on my hard drive, and then I will select my footage. I like to organize all my footage by card, so when I offload from my camera, I keep each SD card in its own folder. Now, holding down Command, I'm gonna go ahead and select each of my card folders. In this case, it's just 2. I then make sure that Leave Files in Place and both of the keyword boxes are selected before I go ahead and click Import Selected. I like organizing my footage by card and keeping the keywords selected because you can see over here that my footage is already semi-organized by folder within my event library. I'll now quickly do the same thing and import the song for the music video. I'll go ahead and press Command I, click the folder, and then import selected. The next thing that you're gonna wanna do is you're gonna quickly wanna go through and select your performance takes. I'm gonna go ahead and just ignore any B-roll or other takes for now. I also like to make sure for this part of the process that I click this little button here so that instead of seeing a list of the file names, you can see all of the generated thumbnails for each clip. I'm then gonna go through and press F on each performance take to favorite it. I'm also gonna go ahead and favorite the song audio. Now, after favoriting all of my performance takes and the song audio, I'm gonna go up here and press favorites, or you can press Control F. Now, only the clips that I've favorited are seen, and I can quickly just select all of them by pressing Command A. I could also do this by bringing up my clip menu again, and selecting from the top, holding down Shift, and selecting the bottom to select all of my favorited clips. And now with all of our clips selected, it's time to use one of Final Cut's most powerful features, the multicam. I'm gonna go ahead and right click on any one of these selected clips, and then I'm gonna choose New Multicam Clip. This music video is called Hold On, so I'll name it Hold On MC for multicam. It's very important that use audio for synchronization is selected. Then 99% of the time, using automatic settings is going to be the way to go. But if you have footage from different cameras, you're gonna wanna click Use Custom Settings. So you just wanna make sure that your video format, resolution, and rate are set for your main cam. I've noticed when shooting with different cameras, and always when I shoot with my Blackmagic 4K, I also wanna make sure that angle assembly is set to clips, so that the multicam makes clips out of everything, rather than assembling the camera angles in one row. You'll see what I mean in a second. But everything else looks good to me, so I'm gonna go ahead and click OK. Assuming that your footage has audio, which it should, because when you record a music video, you want to be playing back the song for the artist to be singing along to, Final Cut is now going to sync all of the footage to that same audio, which is the song. This feature is going to typically be used for interviews or talking heads where multiple cameras roll at the same time, but we're hacking it to sync our footage for us since the audio is always the same across takes. After a few seconds or minutes, the multicam is going to be done syncing depending on the amount of footage. In this use case, it worked perfectly. The sync is great. I'll show you some tips here shortly for the second use case where you get a syncing error for some or all of your footage. Now let's go ahead and take a closer look at this multicam. You're gonna see that Final Cut created a new file in the library with the name that you chose and this little grid icon in the corner. We can now easily open the new generated multicam by double clicking the clip. I'm gonna go ahead and just quickly drag this up so we have a little more room to work with here. You can see that now all of our footage is neatly lined up and synced together within the multicam editor. The multicam editor is gonna function similarly to your main timeline. You can scrub through your footage, make cuts, apply effects, and color grades all within the multicam. On the left side of the multicam editor, the TV icon selects your monitor angle. This is the angle that you're gonna see in the viewer. When I have this clip selected as my monitoring angle, this is the clip I'm seeing and playing back. If I select this as my monitoring angle, now it's this clip. If I select this one, now it's this clip, yada, yada, yada. Then you've got the sound icon. The sound icon is gonna control which angles that you hear audio from. You'll wanna make sure that the song audio is selected and that all the other angles are deselected so that we're only hearing the audio from our song. So if I deselect this audio, I'll find the song audio, I'll select it, and none of my other audio icons are selected. So now when I play it back, you'll see that the footage is synced right to the song. I've been diagnosed, can't sleep. If I switch to this monitoring angle, synced up. On the right side of the editor, you're gonna see all of these little hamburger icons, and you can use this hamburger to drag your angles around. So what I like to do is I like to sort all of my angles by type and by scene, and then I put my song at the very bottom. So I'll move my song to the bottom, and then I'll just sort of group everything by what it is. We've got these similar ones, that's its own thing, and then we have all of our in the LED wall scene lined up, so that's looking pretty good. Then after organizing all my angles, I'm gonna quickly name them so that they're easy to identify. By just single clicking on the name of the angle, I can edit what it's called. I like to organize all of my names by scene and then an identifier like wide, tripod, tight, or handheld. When I have multiple angles that end up fitting that same identifier, I'll go ahead and add Roman numerals after it, like LED, wide, tripod 2. So as I go to name these, this is laying tripod 1. Then we have laying tripod 2. So on and so forth until you've named all your angles. While naming my footage, I noticed that I accidentally included a B-roll clip, and an easy way to get rid of angles that you don't want in your multicam or to add extra angles is to click the little caret and just hit delete angle. Now with all of our footage named and organized, it's time to start editing our music video. If you're having issues with your multicam or with syncing, stick around for use case 2, where I'm gonna show you how to troubleshoot all of those problems. But for now, let's keep moving on. I'll go ahead and make a new project using Command N. I'll name it The Power of the Multicam. I'm also gonna go ahead and just use automatic settings because the first clip in my multicam is from my A camera, but you can quickly check your custom settings and make sure everything looks right for you. And now with my project open, I'll drag my multicam in. Before I can even start editing, there's one final thing that I need to do. I'm gonna go ahead and select the clip in my timeline, and then I'm gonna go up to the sound icon in the top right of my inspector. After clicking the sound icon, I'm gonna drag up the audio configuration tab. This tab normally lives down here by default, so you'll want to drag it up. And then you're gonna wanna make sure that only your song audio is selected. So you're gonna go through and deselect any of your clips minus your song. You want the audio selected. Otherwise, if you don't do this, the audio from the camera or cameras will be playing alongside the song. Now, back on the timeline, I'll scrub to the start of the song using the wavelength indicators, and then I'm gonna go ahead and press the right and left arrow keys to go frame by frame until I'm right at the start of the song. So I'll zoom in here by pinching my fingers. I'm gonna get really close, and then I'm gonna use the arrow keys to right when that audio starts. So with my playhead right at the start of the song, I'm gonna go ahead and hit O to select everything outside my playhead, and then I'll hit delete. So now we're right at the start of the song. Alternatively, if you hit I, it's gonna select everything inside the playhead, and if you scrub ahead, if you hit I, then O, it's gonna select just the playhead, and you can do a quick split cut by pressing delete. You can obviously do normal cuts by pressing Command B to do a normal split cut. I'm gonna go ahead and just Command Z those edits out of the way, so we're back to the start. The start of this song is likely going to end up with B-roll over it, but I really do want my bass cut to still feel good too, and I'm not liking this first angle. So I'm gonna go ahead and press Command Shift 7 to open up the multicam viewer. Whether you end up using this viewer or not, it's still really important to open it up and make sure that just this little film icon is selected. This tells Final Cut to only use the footage of the clips that we cut to, not the audio. You also want to go ahead and click Settings and make sure that 16 angles is selected. And now, after doing that, I can easily audition which take looks better here for the beginning of the video. I'll go ahead and single click through the clips, and the multicam is going to automatically cut to that angle. Let's see, I kind of like that sitting wide. Now, unfortunately, in my case, my broke-ass computer cannot handle having all of this 4K footage playing in the multicam viewer simultaneously. So I'm gonna go ahead and press Command-Shift-7 to close the multicam viewer. Now, instead of auditioning my takes by just clicking on them in the viewer, I can simply use the number keys 1 through 9 to cut to angles 1 through 9, or I can cut to angles 10 through 16 using Option and then 1 through 9. Alternatively to using the number keys, you can also just right-click your clip and then select Active Video Angle and then just click which angle you want. This is why we organize them pretty meticulously. I'm gonna go ahead and try Sitting Tight 2. I like how that looks. The beauty of the multicam system is now that all my footage is perfectly synced, I can literally edit my video in real time. So I'm just gonna quickly bring down the audio so that it is not blaring you guys. And I can press L to start playing. And now I can hit the number keys to cut to a different angle. Obviously, that's doing way too much. I've clearly made some bad cuts and cut way too fast, but luckily it's really easy to just quickly fix bad cuts. I'm gonna adjust my playhead back to one of those cut points, and then I can quickly audition new takes the same way without it playing in real time. I can also adjust the timing of all of these cuts. I obviously made way too many rapid fire ones, so you can just drag these lines to either the next cut point and it'll snap in place, or the other direction. So now this one clip is much longer. If I want it to be even longer, I'll keep dragging and dragging, and now all those cut points are gone, and we're holding on to this angle for much longer. It's literally that simple to edit your performance music video using the multicam. I am noticing one quick thing though. I'm gonna go ahead and find this clip right here, angle 3. Clearly there's some black bars because the Blackmagic 4K doesn't record in full frame. So I'll double click anywhere on the multicam to open up the multicam editor again. I knew it was clip 3, so I'll go ahead and set clip 3 as my monitoring angle by clicking the TV icon in the corner. I'll then select the clip and then click the video inspector icon up in my inspector menu. And I'm just gonna quickly scale this up until it's into frame. So those black bars are now gone. What's awesome about this is that now, no matter where that clip was, I'll go ahead and click this back arrow to get back to my project. No matter where this clip was in my timeline, if I had it cut here, and then we cut back to it here, it all stays the same. It all carries the same properties. So this makes it super easy to do quick fixes like that, and it also lets you do any color grading or effects within the multicam. So you don't have to copy and paste and then try to undo when you mess up effects and coloring across your entire timeline. So you're now able to easily edit your performance video just using the arrow keys or the multicam viewer. I'm gonna go ahead and pull up the final version of this so you can see how simple it is to make a music video like this. So I've pulled up this project and you can see here's what it looks like when it's done. My base timeline is really just the multicam, and then I've gone through and added some super basic B-roll at a couple of the spots. This video was supposed to be mainly performance and it wasn't really relying heavily on any effects. You can see I've got my intro at the beginning, some B-roll. Then we're just cutting a performance multicam. I mean, come on. That's all there is to it. You now know how to effectively and quickly create a music video using the multicam editor in Final Cut. But what happens when the multicam doesn't work the way it's supposed to? I'm gonna quickly show you use case number 2 where the footage didn't all sync properly. In this case, after selecting all my performance takes and creating the multicam, I encounter the error, audio is inadequate to sync one or more of the selected items. This error just means that Final Cut had a hard time lining up the audio to one or more of your clips, and it's still faster for us to fix a few of these clips than to have to do it manually from the start. The video in this example had way more scenes, angles, it had some crazy stuff where I recorded on a camcorder and then recorded the TV playing back those camcorder clips. We were outside for some of the performance scenes and it was super windy, so I was basically just trying to give Final Cut a hard time. I'm gonna go ahead and open up my multicam, and using the monitoring angle, it's pretty easy to find out which clips are synced. So I'm gonna go ahead and quickly make the song my audio, and then I'm going to use the monitoring angle to just quickly test the clips. So this first one.
wish we could.
Looks great. I'm gonna go ahead and check this next one. It's a shorter clip. I know it's super windy. I'll turn the sound up for it. Let's see.
Feels like a cry.
Didn't work. So let's try some of the super easy fixes for this clip in particular. The first thing you're gonna wanna do is set your song as the monitoring angle. So I'm gonna go ahead and click my song as the monitoring angle using the TV icon. And then I'm gonna click on the clip that is the problem. And I'm gonna click the little drop-down menu, the little caret here. And I'm gonna select Sync Selection to Monitoring Angle. This obviously does what it says. It tells Final Cut to sync the selection that we've selected to the monitoring angle. So it's gonna try to use the audio from what we selected to match it up to the audio of the monitoring angle. In this case, the super quick fix didn't work, so we'll go ahead and try something different. You can pull up your position tool by pressing P, or you can click here in the tool menu and select position. And then you're gonna wanna quickly drag the clip closer to where it needs to be. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn the audio off of the song, turn the audio and the monitoring angle on for our problem clip, and I'm just gonna listen really quick. So it sounds like this is near the beginning of the song. So I'm gonna pull up my position tool and I'm just gonna drag the clip near the beginning of the song. Now I'm gonna try to sync selection to monitoring angle again. Because the clip is a little closer, it'll help Final Cut have a better starting point for what audio it's trying to line up. So I'll select the song as my monitoring angle, I'll select the drop down, and then I'm gonna say sync selection to monitoring angle, and let's see if that works. What do you know? It didn't work. So now we have to do the manual solution. With our song selected as both the monitoring angle and the only audio in the song, I'll go ahead and deselect that clip. I'm gonna just listen to the song. While I'm listening, I'm gonna be looking for a key identifying point in the song. This is often when the beat comes in, but it really can be anything you want. So for this song, it's gonna be when the percussion loop comes in. So I'm gonna go ahead and find when that loop comes in. It's in there. It looks like maybe it comes in here. There it is. So I'm gonna use my arrow keys to go right to when I hear that kick in. On that kick there. With my clip selected, I'm gonna press M to make a marker. Then I'm gonna mute the song by unselecting the audio, and I'm gonna select the problem clip as our main audio and as our monitoring angle. I'm gonna see if I can find that same identifying section, which in this case is going to be when that percussion hit comes in. I'm gonna go frame by frame until I hear it, and I'm gonna leave another marker with M. Okay, with some intense listening, because it's super windy, I was able to find it. So I'm gonna go ahead and make sure my clip is selected, and then press M to leave a marker where my playhead is. Then with my position tool, so I'll go ahead and press P so that my position tool is in again, I will go ahead and just quickly drag the marker until it snaps into place with the other marker. Sometimes you have to use your playhead, and I'll just snap it right where it needs to be. Boom. It's pretty important that your timeline is set to magnetic, obviously, for this part. So if it's not, you can press N, or you can click the little magnetic icon here. With it lined up on that key identifier, it should now be synced together. So I'm gonna go ahead and select the song as my audio, deselect the windy crap clip, and let's just go ahead and play it and see if I did okay.
Do you think about me when you're
Killed it. Now, you would obviously have to use this manual process for any clips you've recorded that don't have audio attached, or ones like that where the audio is really crappy. And you would just use the artist's lips as your sync point if you can't hear that key identifying part. So right when they go to say I, you'll cue that M marker right there. You can see here in the final edit of this video that it's mainly performance edited with the multicam, and it looks freaking awesome.
You took time and tried to work on you, but you still haven't changed. Tell me what you wanna do.
Both of the videos I've shown you today, I think they only took me a couple hours to edit, and that's even with this second video needing to manually sync up a ton of the clips. So you can really start to see just how powerful this is at optimizing your workflow for creating music videos. But that's it. It is literally that simple. You now know how to use the power of the multicam in Final Cut Pro to quickly and efficiently create your music videos. Learning this has saved me so much time manually syncing my videos, and I hope it saves you some time too. If you want to work with us here at the warehouse, you can book our studio space by clicking the link down in the description below. We are a creative playground, and we'd love to see you here. And if you want to watch any of the music videos shown in this video, they'll be down in the description too. And as always, make sure if you like this video, you leave a like and subscribe, and we'll catch you in the next one. Peace.